Hey, what's going on, everybody? In this video, we're going to be reviewing Greek Athletics and the Genesis of Sport by David Sansone. And this is the first book that I'm reviewing over Greek Athletics and the Ancient Olympics in honor of the Winter Olympics that are currently going on. Or probably by the time you're watching this, probably passed by now. But anyways, let's just say I was disappointed with this one. This was literally just two very, very scholarly essays entitled The Genesis of Sport and Greek Athletics. And to be honest, they were just very arcane, and the arguments were just going completely out in the sticks and weeds, and a lot of it was just mind-numbing, to be honest. Like, I had no interest at all what the author was writing about. The main argument of the first essay, The Genesis of Sport, is that sport is the ritual sacrifice of energy. The problem is he has to literally go out and define specifically what ritual is and what sacrifice is, and both those terms are just very, if you've ever studied anthropology, those are just complete quagmires in definition, that sort of thing. It's very hard to pin down what ritual is and what sacrifice is, and it's only like a 120 or 130 page book, and literally a couple dozen pages are dedicated just to defining these terms. And a lot of the arguments just go so far out in the weeds that I was just completely lost, and I really did not care at all what he was writing about. But basically, his main argument of the first part is a lot of the aspects of ancient sports, especially Greek athletics, and that sort of thing, is directly derived from Paleolithic primitive hunter-gatherers and the aspects of their lifestyle in regards to their hunt, or the hunt, or whatever. And I thought a lot of those arguments were stretches, to be honest, and it just, like I said, it was just getting so arcane, and it was more of a anthropological argument of, the description of hunter-gatherer societies and that sort of thing, and it really was not at all what I was expecting with a title, The Greek Athletics. The second essay does cover Greek athletics a little bit, but not in any way, shape, or form I was expecting. Basically, he just takes different aspects of Greek sports, like, for example, victors of the Olympic Games wore a crown of olive leaves, basically. And, the Pythian Games, they had laurels and that sort of thing. Basically, he tries to pick anything like that and to show how directly that came from hunter-gatherer societies. Oh, and I gotta get my notes out, because it was, like I said, it was just so arcane and just so strange to me. I had to write some of it down. There are some interesting little tidbits I learned from the book, such as why cauldrons are prizes in the ancient Olympics, and for example, in the Iliad and the Odyssey, cauldrons on tripods are the main prize that you win from winning an athletic contest. I didn't know why at the time, but he does make a fairly convincing argument, because that's what you basically sacrifice the meat to the gods in, during the athletic festival and that sort of thing. But other than these little tidbits like that, it was just a lot of circular arguments, and it was just not what I wanted. Maybe it's really good if you're into anthropology and that sort of thing, but there's really no history in this book, and not that much on sports itself. Just sort of how, like I said, hunter-gatherers, which I don't really know how you compare. There's a long stretch of time between hunter-gatherers and Greek athletics, but anyways, this book just wasn't for me, and it was just not my thing. I probably just wasn't the right reader for this book. A lot of these source material that he was referring to are very specific essays on etymology and anthropology and that sort of thing, which I was just not familiar with, so I probably didn't get as much out of it as I could have if that was my field to study. But anyways, I'm going to give this book 2 stars just because I feel like even if I did enjoy anthropology and that sort of thing, it was still just a very dry, bizarre read, to be honest. But anyways, I hope that doesn't discourage you from reading other books on the Olympics, which I'm going to be reviewing real soon. And always remember, even if you've read a bad book, continue reading and read victoriously.